Hello, welcome to the Rapid Response Meeting for employees of TTM Technologies. The purpose of this meeting is to provide you with information and resources that are available to you as laid-off workers. We'll be talking today about our job center, unemployment insurance, the State of Wisconsin Dislocated Worker Program, health insurance options, and TAA. We'll start off today with some introductions. My name is Ginger Dutton. I work for Workforce Resource, and my office is located at the Chippewa County Job Center. We have Julie Brugenthies from Workforce Resource, who works at the Dunn County Job Center in Menominee, and Emily Kildee from DWD, Department of Workforce Development, at the Eau Claire Job Center. I'm going to give you a little bit of information about our job center locations. Currently, we're closed to public traffic due to COVID-19, but we are accepting appointments for individuals who need to come into the office and speak with a staff member, and we're always available by phone, email, or virtually. Once our office is reopened, some of the services that are available to you are a resource room with computers that have internet and printers where you can complete your unemployment claims, work on resumes and applications, do job seeking, complete your Job Center of Wisconsin registration, and our staff are available for question and answer. I'm going to let Emily take over and talk about unemployment insurance.
Thanks. So we're just going to briefly go over a few things about unemployment. Some of you may have filed recently and others may not have, but we'll be referencing this form that you should receive in your packet. It's a frequently asked questions. And what's handy is that the website is listed right at the top there. We want to make sure that you go to the correct website. Sometimes people will just Google, Wisconsin unemployment and sometimes enter information into the wrong site. So make sure you go to that site. And we'll talk just briefly about the 3 different steps for unemployment. The first step is the initial claim. That's your application for unemployment, and typically you just have to do that one time. The second step is the weekly claim, and for that you'll need to do that each week that you'd like to receive unemployment payment. And then finally, you need to register on the Job Center of Wisconsin website. So we'll talk about each of those steps a little bit. So first, with the initial claim, you can actually do that at any point now, or if you wish to just do the application right before you do your first weekly claim, you could choose to do that as well. Once you do the application for unemployment, you'll receive a letter in the mail, and that'll give you some information about your claim, including what your weekly benefit rate is. In Wisconsin, the highest rate is $370 per week. With the weekly claim, so moving into that second step, you're always going to be filing for the prior week. So you can find the unemployment calendar on the unemployment website, but I'm just going to use this as an example. So you'll see that I have the week of June 28th through July 4th circled. For that week, if you're filing, the first day that you could go online and file the weekly claim would be the following Sunday, July 5th, once the week is completely over. You always have the week after to go online that whole week and file for the week prior. But we always recommend try to go online if you can on Sunday or Monday. The earlier you file for the week, the earlier you'll get paid. You can file for any week that you worked less than 32 hours. So if you're working a part-time job, you may still qualify for a partial benefit for the week. You may have heard on the news that the work search is currently fulfilled, meaning you're not required to do 4 work searches per week right now. That is fulfilled until September 30th of 2020. At this point, we don't know that that will be extended. So although you're not required to do the 4 weekly work searches currently to receive unemployment, we still encourage that you're going online and trying to find work. Now is actually a good time to be working, although there may not be as many openings. Because maybe other claimants are not looking, it could be a good time to find a position. When you're filing your weekly claim, you'll be asked a series of questions. One of those questions is, are you able and available for full-time work? I just want to make sure and clarify, under current COVID-19 circumstances, a lot of people have been misunderstanding this question. So it's important for you to know, under normal circumstances for that week, would you be physically able and available for the work? If the answer is yes, then you should answer yes. You should not answer no simply because there's no jobs available because of COVID-19. The department is just wanting to know, are you able and available for work? So please keep that in mind. Again, you'll be asked a series of questions. And if you are working that part-time job, make sure to report those hours. So I think that's about it for the weekly claim. And then finally, the jobcenterofwisconsin.com registration. One question we've been getting is that still required under the COVID-19 circumstances? And the answer is yes. While you don't currently have to do the 4 weekly work searches, you do still have to register on the Job Center website. And that is required within 2 weeks or 14 days of opening your initial claim. So it will be listed, once you finish your initial claim, it'll be listed on the website right there. But again, it's jobcenterofwisconsin.com. If you've registered in the past, you just need to re-enter your username and password, make sure your information is updated and click save, and then you should be in compliance. If you've never registered, you'll need to create an account. And then a few miscellaneous things, again, referencing the frequently asked questions. The website to go to find the handbook online is listed on the bottom of the first page. And then it also has the unemployment phone number right there too. You may have some questions about some of the federal additional unemployment benefits going on right now. You may qualify for additional federal extensions. I can't speak to each individual circumstance. The main thing to know is that each week that you'd like to receive payment, make sure that you continue filing your weekly claim. If for whatever reason your claim gets held by unemployment, it's very important that you continue filing weekly claims each week, because once any issues are investigated, payment for those weeks could still be released. So again, if your claim is held for whatever reason and staff need to take a look at it, continue to file your claims each week. And you can find more information about the current federal extensions and different things under the CARE Act if you simply Google Wisconsin Unemployment Cares. Okay, so that's kind of wrapping up the unemployment piece.
Thank you, Emily. The next thing I wanted to talk about is in reference to this handout you will receive in your packet of information. This flyer is information about the State of Wisconsin Dislocated Worker Program that is part of a federal grant called WIOA, W-I-O-A, Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act. Everyone who works at TTM that is part of this layoff will qualify for services as a dislocated worker if you choose to participate in the program. There's no requirement, but there are services available to you at no cost. On the back of the sheet that I just showed is information from each of our workforce resource and job center offices on who your dislocated worker program contact would be. So if you live in Chippewa County, it would be myself. If you live in Dunn County, it would be Julie. The others are listed here too. Please reach out to us if you have any questions. The services that are listed on this handout are services that are available to you to work with one of our career planners to help you decide if you are interested in seeking out some additional training to allow you to gain some new skills and credentials to find your next job, or if you're interested in seeking immediate employment. Our career planners are then available to help you with your job seeking, your resumes, your applications, job leads, a lot of good information from our staff. One thing that Emily and I wanted to stress as well is that there's two separate programs that you'll qualify for. One being the Dislocated Worker Program, the other being TAA. You can, and we strongly suggest that you enroll in both programs. He would then work with 2 different career planners, and we work closely together to provide you the most services that you can receive and to benefit you the most. We call that co-enrolling in both programs. I'm going to keep this brief. And again, I just want to stress, if you have any questions, please reach out to us by phone or email. I'm going to turn it over to Julie to talk about healthcare options.
Hello, my name is Julie Brugenthies, and I am based out of the Dunn County Workforce Resource Office. I am available to answer questions and phone calls for people in all counties in our region. I am a licensed navigator. You will hear the Affordable Care Act referred to as a couple of different things. ACA, or the Affordable Care Act, sometimes we call it the Marketplace, and of course we used to call it Obamacare. There's 2 very important points that I always stress when we're talking about the Affordable Care Act. The first one is to make sure that you go to the right website, and the correct website is healthcare.gov. If you go to the wrong website, you will instantly get spam and phone calls from different people selling health insurance. With healthcare reform, there is no pre-existing conditions. So if you're going to the wrong website and it asks a bunch of health questions, that would also be a cue that you're on the wrong website. The other important thing I want to stress is that you have 60 days to decide on whether you want to sign up for the Affordable Care Act or not. That 60 days is very important. And we can look at plans and prices before your insurance is even terminated. So keep in mind that 60 days and start early. If you have prescriptions and you don't, or you have pre-existing conditions and you do not want to lapse in health insurance, we could set up the insurance so there would be little or no gap in coverage if you start early. You will, there is information on the Affordable Care Act in your folder. You will also receive COBRA information from your employer. And I would suggest that you look at plans and prices on the Affordable Care Act and compare the prices with the Affordable Care Act and COBRA. Once you sign up for COBRA, you cannot change your choice, change your insurance until open enrollment again in the fall, or until you're offered a new job. If your spouse or partner has insurance, health insurance available that you could go on, more often than not, you have to go on that insurance and you can't go on the Affordable Care Act. There is a formula used to figure out whether it's deemed unaffordable, and I can help you with that formula. If you're looking at other health insurance from ads on TV, something you get in the mail, I want to say buyer beware, because when our administration changed, there's not the safety net on the health insurance that there was in the past. So there are all kinds of plans out there that sometimes don't cover hospitalization, may not cover the emergency room. So be very careful. And if you want help with that, I can answer some of those questions too. In the Chippewa Valley, for the most part, the 2 insurance companies that we have available on the Affordable Care Act is Security Health, which covers Marshfield, and Medica, which covers Mayo. The Affordable Care Act, the cost of your monthly premium is based on your age, your county, your income, and whether you're a smoker or not. The one last thing I do want to mention is, depending upon family income, you may qualify for Badger Care. That is another option. More often than not, the children in the house qualify for Badger Care because kids are covered up to 350%, I think, of poverty. So it would not be unusual for the adults to be on one form of insurance and the children in the household qualify for Badger Care, especially while you're drawing unemployment. But my information should be in your folder. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Julie. We're going to take it back to Emily to talk about TAA.
Thanks. So again, my name is Emily Kildy. I work for the Department of Workforce Development in Wisconsin, and my primary role is working with the TAA program. It's a special dislocated worker program federally funded, and not everyone qualifies for these benefits, but as it happens, this TTM group does qualify for this program. So I wanted to just briefly touch on what benefits you would qualify for. You'd first need to apply for our program, and then you may qualify for these various benefits. So I'm going to be referencing this handout. It's a brochure that you should have received in your packet. And if you look at the benefits and services chart on it, that's what I'll be going through. Before I touch on those benefits, I just want to say you will be receiving a packet in the mail. So please watch your mail for that. I know when you go through a layoff, you receive a lot of different paper. That's something that we hear a lot, and it is a lot to keep track of. But watch your mail. It's a large white envelope. It says Department of Workforce Development on it, and that will include your TAA application as well as information about the program. Okay, so just moving into those benefits real quick. I'll go down the line here. So the first one is case management services. Again, co-enrolling with myself and then Ginger or Julie's program will allow for you to be working with a team of people that's really there to help you find employment. So it's a helpful thing. Next is training. So this is maybe one of the things our program is known for. We can pay for up to 130 weeks of school. So that means tuition, books, and fees, all of it is covered 100% as long as you are going through an approved training program. So obviously lots more information to learn about that, and we will get you that information, but keep in mind that's available. After that is the trade readjustment allowances. That is the unemployment extensions through our program if you're going to school. So if you choose to go to school and we're paying your tuition, as long as you start school within a certain time frame, you could qualify for additional unemployment while in school. So again, all of this we'll talk more about. Just want to let you know about these things briefly. The next two, both job search allowance and relocation allowance, both of those have to do with if you're interested in relocating out of our area, we could potentially help with paying those costs of relocation. And the last one listed there, this is a popular one that a lot of people make use of. You'll see it listed under RTAA, or we call that the wage subsidy. That is a subsidy for people who are over the age of 50. And if you get employment making less than you did at TTM, we could subsidize your wage for up to 2 years or $10,000. So a lot of people make use of that, and it can really be helpful. The last thing that's not listed on that brochure, but I really want to make sure people know about, is called the health coverage tax credit. It's a mouthful, but basically it's a way to help you pay for your health coverage premiums. So it's not health insurance, it's just a way to help pay for your insurance. And there's different insurance plans that could qualify. We don't run that directly, but I'm glad to help answer questions about it. You can find out more if you type in the website irs.gov/HCTC. And again, if you don't remember some of this, get in touch with me and we'll go through it. But again, a way to help pay for health insurance. So the last thing I'll mention as far as TAA, there's a website that the state of Wisconsin put together for this program that's really excellent. It has videos about each benefit, and I highly encourage you to check that out. We just want to make sure people are aware of what you qualify for. We don't want you to slip through the cracks and not realize that there's something that could really help you. So the website is dwd.wisconsin.gov/trade. And that will also be in the packet that we send out. So watch your mail for that. And then finally, I did just want to add, during my unemployment little spiel, I wanted to mention that the Eau Claire Resource Room phone number is a good resource if you have unemployment questions. We know that unemployment is a little difficult to get through to right now because of the COVID-19 circumstances. So if we can be of help, we're glad to assist. And so that phone number for the Eau Claire Job Center Resource Room is 715-836-5165. All right, that's it. Thank you.
The last bit of information that I wanted to share is that Our area job centers are partnering together, and we are going to be hosting a drive-through job fair on Wednesday, July 15th at the Eau Claire Job Center. This will look a little different than traditional jobs or job fairs because of COVID, but employers will be contacted to provide flyers of information about their business and their job openings. Those will all be put together into a bag, and then job seekers are simply able to drive through the parking lot and pick up the bag of information. So then you can take a look at what employers are hiring in the area. So again, that will be on July 15th. I believe in the afternoon hours. If you have questions about that, call the Eau Claire resource room number that Emily provided. And lastly, I just want to also encourage you again. This was a very brief overview of a lot of information. So if you have questions specifically, we are available to answer those. That's what we're here for. We want to be the best resource that we can. So call myself, call Emily, call Julie. That's what we're here for, and we're happy to help, and we hope to talk to you soon. Thank you and have a good day.